on, guys? Tails86 here with Weekly Review, and today is the very long-awaited review for a PS3 game that came out back in June 7th, 2011, which is the title everybody's actually waiting for me to review since I got a new HD camera, which is Infamous 2. So guys, let's waste no more time and start on the review for this great game. Now, as everybody knows, this is a direct sequel straight from the very first Infamous, where Cole McGrath is not anymore in Empire City, and he's having to deal with these new guys that have like different powers, like ice powers and all this kind of stuff. Now, though, Cole does have some pretty cool new techniques, but also there are some things about the second one that I didn't like the way that they went. One of them being, why does Cole need a weapon? I don't understand that. I mean, I can understand that, he needs extra power to be able to take out the new boss of the whole entire game, the Beast. Not trying to give away really any spoilers, but, why does he need a weapon? I don't really see the point in him needing a weapon. I mean, his attack should already be strong enough from the very first one. But, all the other techniques that you had from the very first one are back. You can be able to slide on telephone lines and cables, like you can see me doing right now. You can also use precision blasts. You can use power bombs. You can use lightning drops like that. And you can be able to also search around for extra blast shards, which you'll need to increase your amount of lightning that you can hold, which is one of these things right here. So you can see I have 5 of 30 right now, and I gained 5 XP from doing that. Now, the story in this one is a little bit different. Basically, you are Cole McGrath, of course, like in the first one, but you already have your powers still, and you are in a new city called New Madreus. Now, around the time when you are reaching this new city, you encounter the Beast, which is a fire titan thingamabob, which, to me, I don't understand why they went ahead and just took that. It reminds me like they just took it from the God of War series. Like, you know that big old fire titan guy from God of War 3? It seems like they just ripped him straight from the game and went ahead and said, oh, hey, this is our new villain. Don't get me wrong, it's a pretty unique villain, being able to use fire and being able to take him out with lightning. But I don't know. I would have chosen like maybe just maybe another character instead of using like a Titan. It just seemed kind of different the way that they went with that. But that's my opinion, though. Remember, despite the fact that Cole McGrath has to use a weapon, he does have many other new techniques compared to what he had in the first one, including some new special techniques where he can actually use a car, like say you just saw right there. This is like I can't exactly remember the name of the move, but you could stand on a car and basically just press on the X button on your PS3 controller and do like a special jump. You can get a little bit of air, and you can also steal a little bit of the electricity from the cars to be able to jump back and forth onto them. Now, you also have one technique that you can use, actually 2 of them if you go in further in the game. You can be able to unlock ice techniques thanks to one of your other characters. You can be able to use ice techniques and be able to freeze your enemies, or you can use a really cool technique which is called the icon twist, and I'll go ahead and try to see if I can show that off real quick. So here's a little taste of the new power that I was talking about. This is called the icon vortex, which is one of the powers that you can use against your enemies, especially if you have a ton of them at you. All you do is you look around for what will be a little purple blob, basically. You go ahead and grab that blob by just passing through your character, and then unleash it by pressing on the down D-pad, like so. And you can actually cause a pretty good amount of damage with this attack if you have a lot of enemies that are within the area. Now, you can also use little chain techniques with your weapon, and some of them can be brutal. Some of them can be brutal hits on these guys. Some of them can be like huge jump attacks and everything. So You want to make sure that you're watching everything that's going on around you when you go into the harder levels, because I'm telling you, some of the levels you'll go through later on do get pretty hard. Now, of course, just like in the very first one, like I said also, you can play the hero or you can play the villain. It's completely up to you. Now, I will say that I don't really prefer one of the characters that's in the game, which is Nyx. I don't know why. It just seems like she doesn't really act that much of like a villain to me. She's the one that makes you go ahead and decide, like, hey, do you want to be the good guy? If you want to be the good guy, you'll go with the other girl and everything else. So, I mean, I don't know. It's just my opinion, but don't take it too seriously. Now, when you want to access new abilities, you'll be able to open up a powers menu by just going straight to your pause menu and your powers. You can go through all these different types of powers, like for R1 you can use alpha bullets, you can use the pincer bullet, you can use different types of ones when you're able to unlock them, and if you have also enough experience, EXP. And you can go through all these different types like blast, grenades, rocket types. You can do all these different types when you're able to level up Cole and be able to use them. So like this one right here, which is the Ionic Freeze, which is actually a very, very powerful technique. It can also take out a large amount of enemies in the area and just freeze them. But it also makes it so it does not hurt any civilians too. So that's another really cool technique. But I don't know what it is about this one. I mean, in my opinion, the first one is just a little bit better. Now, why I say that is, I don't know. I mean, there are some things about the second one that I thought went above and beyond the first one. But there's also some things about the second one I didn't like. Like, one of the things also is the camera. Sometimes the camera will not always be on your side. You'll have to move it around a lot more than you would need to be able to get yourself focused exactly right on your enemies. And sometimes the camera will also get in your way when you're trying to avoid being hit by others and just stuff like that. But, I mean, otherwise, the game is still good. I mean, it's a great game. I think it was a great sequel, but there are just some things I didn't like about it as much as the first one. I mean, don't take it too seriously, though, guys, because, I mean, this is my very first PS3 game that I've ever reviewed, and I want y'all to just be completely honest. But it's a fun game. I would definitely try it out, but I would never try to spend the amount of money that I paid for the Hero Edition. Because even though you get like the sling pack and you get the statue and everything, it honestly was not worth it. I mean, the statue, I didn't even like it. I mean, the statue was cool, yes. As a lot of y'all know, when I went ahead and said about the statue, I said, yes, this statue was cool, but why did you have to make Cole literally look so sad? I mean, he's a freaking hero. I mean, you can be the hero or the villain. I mean, why did they go ahead and make him have such a sad face in the thing? What about like a sick look or something like that? Like, have some lightning coming out of his hands, something like that. I don't know. But I mean, just small things like that I didn't like about with the Hero Edition anyway. But there are some things about the second one that do add some extra value to the game, including some extra content where you can also get new missions thanks to PlayStation Network. So if you have PlayStation Network and if you have online with your PS3, which I'm hoping everyone does, you can be able to access newer user-made content, and as well as taking out these little birds right here, if I can get him. I don't know where he went. Oh well, anyway. The game is good though, like I said. I would definitely pick it up, but I would not pick up the Hero Edition. So, thank you guys for watching. Ah, there's that bird right there. That's also one of the other things you'll have to look around for is those little birds for your dead drops. Unlike the first one, you could go to satellites and just link them up with your powers. But this one you have to actually retrieve the data from a pigeon. And then it'll tell you everything about what's going on.
Audio surveillance file X0 Cool. Meeting with NSA agents John White and Lucy Quo.
But anyway, guys, thank you all for watching
How are you calling us?
this review for Infamous 2. The game is getting a 9 out of 10 because it is a great game. There are just some things I didn't like about it, including the camera and the reason why Cole really needed a weapon. Now, I mean, though, like I said, it's a great game. Get it if you have the money. Just don't get the Hero Edition. It's not worth it. Thank you guys for watching. This has been Weekly Review. Take care. Later.